If you're looking for one of the most beautiful, historic, and prestigious neighborhoods in all of Louisville, Kentucky, then Anchorage might be a neighborhood you might want to consider. In today's video, I'm going to go over everything you need to know about living in the Anchorage neighborhood of Louisville, Kentucky. We'll discuss the pros, the cons, those highly rated schools that you're all wondering about. We'll even hop in the car so that you can get a feel and an idea of what it's actually like to drive down the streets of Anchorage, Kentucky. I'm Katie Skeen, a local realtor, and let's get right into it. Let's discuss some of the pros of living in this amazing neighborhood in Louisville, Kentucky. The first is that it is prestigious and historic. Now, these homes, it's hard to really describe it or do it justice, but when you drive through this neighborhood, you really get a sense of how big these lots are and how palatial some of these homes are. Now, I don't mean it in the ostentatious sort of way. The homes are absolutely gorgeous, but some of them look like modernized historic farmhouses. There's really this charming atmosphere and environment in this neighborhood. When you drive down the streets, the trees are so big and mature, it's so shaded. It's just an absolutely beautiful neighborhood. It truly has a timeless charm, and it is one of the most sought after zip codes in all of Louisville, Kentucky. The second pro is their independent public school system. Now, this is truly unique in Jefferson County. It's the only one of its kind. It is the only place within Jefferson County that has its own public school system outside of the Jefferson County public schools. The Anchorage Independent Public School is going to serve grades K through 8. It's located right near the little downtown area of this neighborhood. It is consistently ranked one of the top schools in our entire state. It's definitely one of the top K through 8 schools in all of Jefferson County. So this is a huge pro of living in this neighborhood, is that you're trying to figure out that hard to navigate public school system here in Jefferson County. If you move into Anchorage, you have the opportunity to go to that public school. The next pro is that it is scenic and peaceful. It truly does feel so peaceful here in this neighborhood. I've seen a lot of neighbors out walking in the neighborhood. And then of course you have the Anchorage Trail. Now this is a trail that you can walk on. I saw people biking down there. It is so peaceful and the trees are so mature and beautiful. You're getting a lot of shade. It's a great temperature today. I can hear the birds chirping, and it is just, you really feel this sense that you've been transported out of Louisville, Kentucky when you're on the streets of Anchorage, Kentucky. The next pro is that you have such a tight-knit community here. They definitely pride themselves in this. So there's a lot of neighborhood activities, a lot of community events where you can feel this sense of community and a neighborhood feel. Plus they have this little downtown where the Village Anchor is and some other shops as well. So it's really easy to meet up with neighbors right here in your own town. You would be able to walk down to the Village Anchor. So that is a really nice part of living in this neighborhood, is having that community feel. Let's talk about some of the amenities in this Anchorage neighborhood. The first is that you do have a mixed use zoning in this community. So you do actually have some commercial space in this downtown area. I already mentioned to you the restaurant, the Village Anchor. Also, there's a coffee shop, I think there's an ice cream shop down there, and then there's an art studio called Wet Your Palate. So there are businesses within walking distance where you can meet up with a friend for a cup of coffee or have a glass of wine, go to brunch, lunch, or dinner at the Village Anchor. So it's really nice to have some of these restaurants right in your own community. The second amenity that I mentioned is green space. Now, these lots are huge. They're a lot bigger than many of the other lots located within Jefferson County. So it's not uncommon to see a half acre or more with some of these lots. You have several community parks scattered throughout the Anchorage area, so you're getting some extra green space. Another amenity is going to be Owl Creek Country Club. It is located really close by here in the Anchorage neighborhood. A lot of the neighbors in this community are going to be members of that country club. It has swimming and golfing and tennis. So it's a very conveniently located country club if that's something that you're looking for in a neighborhood. And then lastly, for your amenities, Anchorage is located just to the north of Middletown. So if you've watched any of my videos about Middletown, you know that Shelbyville Road in Middletown has every single store, grocery, Target. It has every single thing that you could possibly need. So it's not that far of a drive for you to get outside of this neighborhood to head down to Shelbyville Road and for you to be able to have all the amenities and restaurants that Shelbyville Road has to offer. Here in a minute, I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about the real estate in Anchorage. But before I do that, I just wanted to tell you what a privilege it is for me to make these videos for you. I really appreciate the opportunity to show you our wonderful communities here in Louisville, Kentucky. But what I enjoy even more than making these videos is actually helping people just like you buy and sell their real estate in Louisville, Kentucky. So whether you're relocating here for the first time or whether you're just moving within the Louisville, Kentucky area, I'm going to go ahead and put my contact information up on the screen. I would ask that you go ahead and give me a quick call or text. I would absolutely love to have the opportunity to discuss your move with you and see if I can help you find the neighborhood that would be just a perfect fit for you here in Louisville, Kentucky. Let's talk about some of the real estate in the Anchorage neighborhood. Now these homes, some of them date even back to the 1800s when they were built. Mostly we see homes built in the early 1900s in this area. Their architectural style is truly unmatched. You are going to see traditional style homes, colonial, you're going to see farmhouse style, and even some more modern houses where they've taken these old estates and modernized them and renovated them completely. The lots in this neighborhood are going to be larger. They're going to sometimes be wooded. So you really think in a more grand terms when you think of these homes in the Anchorage area. Now, many of the homes are going to range in price from $700,000 all the way up to $2 million plus for some of these properties. It's not impossible to find a home in the $600,000 price point, but when you do, it's going to maybe be a smaller house. There's a comp that closed in the 600s this past year that was a 2-bedroom, and then many of the homes in that $600,000 price point, those are going to be more of your fixer-uppers where you are going to need to come in and make some renovations to bring the home up to a standard that you might want to live in. As I already mentioned, large lots and also private drives and custom features are going to be some of the things that you can expect from a property in the Anchorage neighborhood. The median sales price of a property in the Anchorage neighborhood in 2024 was $910,635. The median cumulative days on market in 2024 was 4 days. So that's what you can expect from the pricing. Now, obviously that median price takes out those outliers on either side. So really 900, a million, up in that range is what you're going to expect as far as the median sales price. And the 4 days on market tells us that very much when properties come on the market in this neighborhood that are priced correctly, that are move-in ready, that are staged well, they are going to move quickly. So if you have your heart set on Anchorage, you are going to need a pro realtor who knows the area and knows how to negotiate, knows how to get you in quickly, knows how to help you move along this process so that you can be quick to jump on that opportunity of that Anchorage property. I wanted to share with you 2 recently sold comps in the area. The first one is 11300 Nutwood Road. Now this is a 7-bedroom, 6.5 bath property, truly palatial, honestly. It has 13,160 square feet. This one closed at $2.5 million. It has a pool and a tennis court and a par 3 golf course. Of course, this is not what we're going to expect from every single property in the area, but I wanted to share this comp with you because it is truly special, and it just goes to show you what kind of space you can get from some of these lots. Now, on the other end of the spectrum, I wanted to share with you 1307 Glenbrook Road. This one is a 2-bedroom, 1.5 bath that had 1,444 square feet. Definitely had a cozy cottage feel. It did have really nice staging and looked really cute, honestly, on the inside. This one closed right at $660,000. Up next, let's jump in the car together and I'm going to take you on a driving tour of this gorgeous neighborhood. ahead and hop on the map and take a look at exactly where the Anchorage neighborhood is located within Louisville, Kentucky. So as you can see here, it's highlighted on the map. It is just to the north of Middletown, Kentucky. So you are sandwiched right in between the Watterson Expressway, but you're definitely much closer to that Gene Snyder Expressway. So when we think about it in proximity to downtown, it's one of our East End neighborhoods, quite a bit outside of downtown. Now, as far as access to main roads and interstates, your closest access is going to be to 265, which we locals call the Gene Snyder Expressway. It is the outer of the two outer belts that go around Louisville, Kentucky. The inner one is called the Watterson Expressway. So you are definitely close to that. You are going to be close to Shelbyville Road, which goes all the way out to Shelbyville. Let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit more on this map so we can get a bit of a better view. Now, of course, a couple of the main roads I already mentioned to you here. Shelbyville Road, that's going to be one where you're going to have a lot of amenities. You also can come outside the neighborhood out on this side. This is going to be Hurstbourne Parkway. You've got a lot out there. And then, of course, you have LaGrange Road that is coming right through here and is even going to cross over that Gene Snyder Expressway. So depending on course of where you're trying to go, you can have access via all of those roads. Now, when you think about zooming out here and trying to get out of Louisville, if you're wanting to come up to the Cincinnati area, you're going to get on that Gene Snyder and go up to Interstate 71. You're about an hour and a half away from Cincinnati. You can also take this Easton Bridge all the way over to Interstate 65 and head north to Indianapolis, which is about a 2 hour and 20-minute drive. If you're wanting to head south, you can come on the outside of the Gene Snyder down to 65 South and head towards Nashville. That's going to be about a 3.5 hour drive to get to Nashville. Let's take a look at some of our commute times. The first we're going to look at is going to downtown. Now, as you can see, you do have to come up that LaGrange Road and connect with the Gene Snyder and head on down to 71 to go down into the city. It's saying that it's 19.3 miles and it's going to take you around 26 minutes at this time of day. So because you are in these large estate lots that are kind of secluded, not in the middle of nowhere, but you have to do some driving to get out to the interstate, it is going to be that around that 25-minute mark to make it to downtown. Let's take a look at how long it will take you to get down to the airport. If you're a person that is traveling a lot for work, you need easy access to the airport. So they're actually having you drive through some of the neighborhoods, New LaGrange Road, to get to the Watterson Expressway. You're going to come around the Watterson all the way to the Louisville International Airport, which is right here. That is 14.3 miles and it's taking you about 25 minutes. So this is definitely longer than some of the other neighborhoods we've been looking at, but of course not quite as far as if you're outside of the Gene Snyder. That would take you even longer. But if you're in a place like Lake Forest, let's say, for example, you have a little bit easier access to this Gene Snyder. So sometimes even when it's a little bit further out, if it's easier to get to that Gene Snyder, you might be able to get to some of these places a bit faster, even though some of the miles are actually longer. Now, we've already looked at the commute time to downtown, but what about if you are working here in this Hurstbourne area? There are tons of businesses right off here off Hurstbourne Parkway, all up and down Hurstbourne. There is a lot of business plazas up in this area. So you're looking at about a 10 to 12 minute drive from this Anchorage neighborhood. It's going to be very easy to come out this way to the Hurstbourne area and just head on down to work. Now let's take a look at some of the grocery stores that you're going to be shopping at if you live in this area. So here we are in Anchorage. You can see it right here. And the most convenient shopping for sure is going to be out here on Shelbyville Road. You have a Kroger. This is your Middletown Kroger. You also have a Paul's Fruit Market. So if you're not familiar with Kroger, probably many of you are, but this is going to be kind of your mainstream grocery store in this area. This Middletown one is going to be your closest. For your general weekly grocery shopping, this is going to have most of the items that you're going to need on your list. Now, another one of my favorite places to shop is this Paul's Fruit Market. This is local. It's not going to have everything on your grocery list, but they have a really nice deli. They do the plants in the springtime. So I love the guacamole and salsa from Paul's. So if you've never had that, go ahead and grab that with some donkey chips. That is absolutely delicious. Here are some of their other deli items, but they have some specialty type grocery items. So you're probably not going to be able to get everything on your list there, but it is a very nice market to try if you've never been there before. Now, not too far from Anchorage, if you're willing to cross over the Waterson Expressway, you are going to be able to get to Publix. Now, this is very exciting because those of you from the South are so thrilled that Publix has come up to the Louisville, Kentucky area. Publix is a full and large grocery store. They have a great deli. They have a delicious key lime pie. They have a wonderful bakery, great seafood, produce, meat, all the things that you need. So this is definitely something that Louisville residents were very excited about, and you're going to have fairly easy access to that Publix coming from this Anchorage area. Now, if you are one who likes to save money, you might want to check out Aldi. It's going to be a little bit of a further drive. You're going to have to come down to Shelbyville Road and head on over to Hurstbourne to get down to Aldi. Of course, those of you know about Aldi, it is more of a discounted grocery store. They do have most items, but not as many choices, not as many brands. You have to bring your own bags, all that sort of stuff, but that is available to you as well. And then a couple of other specialty groceries that I want to point out. Of course, here's Anchorage, and if you're wanting to come to Whole Foods, it is over here, and right down the street is Trader Joe's. So you are going to have to come down to Shelbyville Road, depending on traffic. That could be anywhere from a 15 to 20 minute drive. Sometimes Shelbyville Road can get really backed up, but if you're looking for a Whole Foods, then this is going to be the Whole Foods where you will shop. Many of you know Whole Foods is known for its organic options. Now, many of you are wondering if this is going to pass the Target test. You know that I think shopping at Target is going to be really important and essential for your survival here in Louisville, Kentucky. So if we look at the closest Target to the Anchorage neighborhood, you are going to come right out here to Shelbyville Road, and it is about a 10-minute drive to that Middletown Target. There is also a Walmart out in this area. There is so much actually right here in this Shelbyville Road, Middletown area. So let's zoom in on that and let's take a look at some of the different options that they have here. So like I said, you've got Kroger down in this area. There actually is an Aldi here right here. I didn't even realize that, you all. This must be a newer Aldi. You've got Feeders Pet Supply. You have all kinds of restaurants out here. Joella's Hot Chicken, Blaze Pizza, Texas Roadhouse, First Watch, McAllister's Deli. Just so many options out in this Middletown, Shelbyville Road area. So Feeders Pet Supply, this is where you're going to get your local pet stuff. If you're a dog or a cat lover, they're going to have all the things that you need for your precious little fur babies. There is another great restaurant out here called Chicken Salad Chick. This is spreading kind of in this area. So comment below if you've been to Chicken Salad Chick and if you like it, but they have all different kinds of chicken salads. It's a really fast, casual, quick and easy kind of a lunch spot, but I've enjoyed the times that I've been there. So it's a pretty fun place to go to lunch and right there outside of that Anchorage neighborhood. Now, a close second to Target, of course, is going to be Costco. It says it's 6.7 miles away and it's 13 minutes. You are actually going to have to get on the freeway to go up there. You're going to get out here to the Gene Snyder Expressway and go all the way up. So you do have a Costco not too far from you, but it is a bit of a drive and it is a trip on the freeway to get up to Costco. Now, there are a couple of great amenities right within Anchorage that I want to point out to you. The first one is the Owl Creek Country Club. So this is going to be your closest country club to the area. Owl Creek Country Club has golf and tennis and swimming. It is a really beautiful club and a great option for those who are living in the Anchorage neighborhood. I know a lot of people from the neighborhood go there and they really enjoy a rich community among the other members at this club. One of my favorite things about the Anchorage neighborhood is actually this Anchorage trail that runs all the way through Anchorage. It is so sweet. I'm going to try to zoom in so you can see it. Yes, it's this green line right here. This Anchorage trail goes all the way through Anchorage, all the way through their little downtown area up here. And it is just a really sweet nature trail. I want to show you some of these pictures. To me, this is a huge advantage of living in that Anchorage area. You can go for a walk or a hike. You can enjoy these beautiful views. I know many of the residents take advantage of the Anchorage Trail living in that area. So if you're a person who likes the outdoors and hiking and you enjoy being in nature, this Anchorage Trail will be a huge plus for you living in the Anchorage area. Now, if we zoom in a little bit further, they have the cutest little downtown area. The first thing I want to point out to you is Village Anchor. Now, this is a really fun restaurant. Even if you don't live in Anchorage, I absolutely love this restaurant. It has such a cool environment and really delicious food. So you just feel like you've been transported into this really sweet little downtown area. And they have all different parts to the restaurant. They also have a really good brunch. So this is a place where I think a lot of Anchorage residents love to go. And it's right there in the downtown Anchorage area. So it's very convenient and very close for the residents. Another really fun place in this little downtown area is actually called Wet Your Palette. This is a little art studio. I've actually sent a child to art summer camp here before, and I think it is so much fun. You can go here and paint other projects as well, but it is a really fun little art studio. You can learn how to paint. They have a lot of options for kids. You can do birthday parties here. So if you're interested in art, this is something where you might want to check out this Wet Your Palette here right down in the middle of Anchorage. One thing I know that a lot of you are concerned about are the public school and private school options for this neighborhood. One of the best things about living in Anchorage is that you do have the option to go to the Anchorage Public School. This is the only public school within Jefferson County that is not technically part of the Jefferson County Public Schools. They have their own board, and this is a K through 8 school. It is really well regarded. It has a great schools rating of 9 out of 10. So the residents of Anchorage, this is a huge benefit of living in this area, is having the opportunity for your children to go to this nearby close public school that is so highly rated. Now, if you're looking for a more private school option, there is a couple that I will point out to you. Right outside of this Anchorage neighborhood on Shelbyville Road, you have the Highlands Latin School. This is a classical education type model. A lot of families from Anchorage will choose to come over here to Christian Academy of Louisville, which is K through 12 and a very highly rated school in the area. And then also I'll point out KCD, Kentucky Country Day School to you. It is one that is going to be a very popular private school as well. Up next, I'm going to tell you a few of the cons of living in this Anchorage neighborhood. Living in Anchorage is not all pros. There are definitely some cons to living in this neighborhood. The first one is going to be the price point. This neighborhood is going to be out of reach for many individuals, families looking to relocate to the area. The price point is well above our median sales price of a home in Louisville, Kentucky. So if you are looking for more of that median sales price, this is not going to be affordable or the neighborhood for you. The second con is the limited inventory. I mentioned this in the real estate section that the cumulative days on market in 2024 was 4 days. So these homes are going so quickly, and part of the reason for that is because there are not very many of them. So when they do come up, if someone has their heart set on that neighborhood, people are just snatching them up so quickly. So it could take some time and some patience and even some off-market prospecting to be able to find you a home in the Anchorage neighborhood. The last con is for some, the commute times seem a little bit too long. I will say there are a couple of other luxurious neighborhoods a little bit closer to the city that you could consider if you wanted shorter commute times. This neighborhood truly has a secluded feel, which I love about it, but you do have to kind of drive to get out of this Anchorage neighborhood to get to some of your main roads like Shelbyville Road or Brownsboro Road, and then you can connect to the interstate from there. But because of that, because you're kind of having to drive through these back roads to get out to some of the major highways and interstates, then it is going to actually take you longer to get to places like downtown. Your commute times can be up to the 25-minute mark, sometimes even longer, up to 30 minutes in rush hour traffic. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, in light of some of these cons, living in Anchorage is not going to be the right fit for everyone. So here in a minute, I'm going to tell you 2 other neighborhoods that you absolutely have to investigate if you like some of the qualities about Anchorage, but you're not quite sure if it's going to be the right fit for you. But before I do that, I just wanted to share with you about a great opportunity for you. It's completely free to download, and that is my relocation roadmap. If you are thinking about relocating to the Louisville, Kentucky area, I want you to take a minute right now, find the link in this video description, and go ahead and download that relocation roadmap. I actually made this for my viewers, just like you who are relocating to the area, and I made it because I remember what it was like to relocate here 13 years ago. No one was giving me a step-by-step process. No one was helping me to figure out where I wanted to live or what neighborhoods, and I thought it would be so helpful to put this guide together that kind of breaks down the steps for you. That way it will feel less overwhelming. And my heart and my desire is that it truly would be a blessing for you and that it would be a help to you. So go ahead, if you think it would be beneficial to you to kind of break down the relocation process into a step-by-step process. If you're one of those people who likes to check off the check boxes, go ahead and download my relocation roadmap. So if you loved Anchorage, but you weren't sure about the location or the price point, I want you to watch my video about living in Indian Hills in Louisville, Kentucky. It's going to give you shorter commute times to downtown. It's going to have a wider variety of price points, and there's going to be a lot more inventory to choose from. That neighborhood actually has 3 different sections to it. So I find that people relocating to the area, if they want to live in Indian Hills, often we're able to find them a house there because of the increased amount of inventory in comparison to someplace like Anchorage. The other neighborhood that you may want to check out is the Lake Forest neighborhood. Now this one is going to be on the other side of the Gene Snyder Expressway. It also has large lots. It also has really large homes, but the median price point is going to be lower than Anchorage. You also have Lake Forest Country Club. So I think there's a lot of community atmosphere happening in Lake Forest. That's really nice. So that would be another great neighborhood for you to consider if Anchorage wasn't exactly the perfect fit for you. I hope you've enjoyed this neighborhood tour about living in the Anchorage neighborhood of Louisville, Kentucky. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.